What's up gang, this is a quick straight to the point video on the advantages of bussing or grouping your tracks while mixing. Ever since I started implementing the bussing technique in my mixing workflow, it was a massive turning point for me and I've never gone back. The good news is it's very simple to do, and it's even simpler if you set it up in your template, so every time you open your template, your buses and sends are ready to go. The concept of bussing and the 5 benefits I'm going to share with you are the same for any DAW, but the method of setting them up differs between each software. This demonstration is in FL Studio and I'm going to show you how to do it first, then talk about the advantages with the examples. You can download 2 versions of my production template that you will see in the demonstration. One that's identical to mine and the other with FL Studio stock plugins, both for free through the link in the description. Let's go! By default, every track inside FL Studio is being routed to the master channel. Let's highlight our 4 drum tracks by holding Ctrl and dragging left click on the top. I've already docked a track to the left hand side and called it drum bus. Now I'm gonna right click under the arrow of that track and route to this track only. The difference between route to this track only and route to this track is the difference between sends and buses. Pay attention to what happens between the connection of our tracks and master channel when I click on route to this track only. All those tracks got disconnected from the master and are only going to the drum bus, and then our drum bus is going to the master to be heard. But if I want to send my kick to, let's say, a reverb, delay or a parallel channel, I will just left click on the arrow of that send track, which is the same as route to this track. The shortcut for route to this track only is holding Ctrl and left clicking on the arrow, and it's really as simple as that to set up your buses or effect sends. Benefit number 1 is an additional layer of control and quick navigation as groups. Being able to quickly solo all the drums or melodics, muting or automating the volume for an entire group, etc. Benefit number 2 is processing as a group to create a sense of glue and saving processing power by using the plugins once rather than for each individual track. An example of this is clipping or limiting your drum bus before hitting the master channel, which would kill your computer if applied individually, let alone defeating the purpose. Benefit number 3 is a bit more specific. I had a comment asking why do you have a bus for your effects? Here's why. All my reverb and delay sends go to this effects bus, on which I have this final layer of EQ, but more importantly, when I want to create complete silence moments in my mixes, instead of automating 5 different sounds that might have delays and reverbs on them, I just automate the volume of my effects bus.
And you just get as heavy as possible and let yourself go.
Or for other similar purposes. Don't forget that 1 second of your time clicking on that like button shows me that you appreciate the time I put into making these videos for you. Thank you so much for always supporting the channel. Trust me as much as you do, I wish I didn't have to say this shit every time. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Benefit number 4 is being able to sidechain a sound to an entire group of sounds. For example, in this project, I sidechain my vocals to my melodic bus, which has over 20 sounds in it, and this way I create a little bit of a space for my vocals over everything that's melodic every time it's present.
You get the sensation that your breath is falling out.
Benefit number 5 is circumstantial, but when you export the stems of your project, you have access to the individual tracks and to the groups as separate stems, which can be used and manipulated in various different ways and for different reasons. Once I remember using my group stems and heavily compressing them to layer under the main mix during the mastering project, of course while paying attention to phase issues. So that should give you a pretty good idea of why we use buses. If you found anything confusing or have any questions about this topic or related topics, just drop it in the comments and I will definitely get back to you either in the comments or with a full-on video. As always, thanks for watching and I hope to see you in the next one.